What's going on, friends? Happy Sunday. Hope you're having a great weekend. Hope it's a beautiful weekend where you are. Though, from what I've seen from the weather, it's only beautiful if you're in Florida. Here it's dull, gloomy. We're done with the freezing weather here in Southeast Texas. But we get started with flooding rain starting tomorrow. Well, go Southeast Texas, let me tell you. Anyway, hey, we got a lot of stuff to go over, a lot of games, a lot of good, incredible things have happened the last week. Go over that, go over some news. Before we start, hit that subscribe button down there so you don't miss anything. All right, with that, let's get to it. Some news here. Star Bama safety Caleb Downs. He enters the transfer portal. Offensive tackle, former offensive tackle, Caden Proctor for Alabama. He's transferring to Iowa. Seems like all these players are jumping ship since Nick Saban has retired. Going to be interesting to see how they look next year. I think they'll be all right. I don't know if they're going to be a Saban-like team. I mean, Kalen, damn good coach. Look what he did with Washington. But you got all this talent jumping. I think Alabama's going to be good. Just not sure about Saban good. That'll probably change in the next few years because, like I said, Kalen, he's a pretty damn good coach. Harvard football coach Tim Murphy, after 30 years at the helm, he's going to retire. 200 wins, 89 losses record. Also coached at Maine and Cincinnati. His total record for his coaching career, 232, 134, and 1. And yes, you kids out there, there used to be ties in college football. God, when they stopped that, the 90s sometimes, and started the overtime, something like that. Anyway, so yeah, one tie, not bad. Ohio State has hired Texas A&M AD Ross Bjork for their AD position. He didn't hire Jimbo Fisher, but he was instrumental in that contract extension that Jimbo got a couple of years ago that a lot of us Aggie fans are like, what the hell are you doing? So, didn't hire him, but he did help him get that contract extension. Ohio State, they hire ex-Penn State head coach. They hire ex-Penn State head coach, ex-Houston Texans head coach, and ex-Bama OC, Bill O'Brien, is their new OC. All I got to say is good luck with that. Ohio State fans better get used to scoring 7, 10, 14 points and then running the ball, trying to run the clock out for the rest of the game. From my experience watching Houston Texans when he was coach, yeah. Get ready for low scoring and very conservative play. Then again, Ryan Day might not put up with that crap. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, good luck to you. South Carolina top 3-point shooter Miles Stoop out for 2 to 3 weeks, shoulder injury. Didn't need him yesterday when they beat Arkansas, but still, he's going to be out for a while. Reports that Atlanta Falcons have scheduled a second interview with Jim Harbaugh. We'll see how that goes. And, hey, good news for Arizona Wildcat fans. Jedd Fish left for Washington. Well, your quarterback, Noah Fifita, who's a damn good quarterback, and wide receiver, Tedora McMillan, they are going to return to the Wildcats next season. Hell of a job he did there at Arizona. I mean, he turned that program around. They were kind of bottom Pac-12 there for a while, but and they're joining the Big 12 next year, so we'll see how all that works out. Okay, so we're going to go back a few days, back to last week a little bit. Tuesday, number 2 Purdue beat 12-6 Indiana, 87-66. Edey, 33 points, 14 rebounds, 11 for 12 on his free throw shooting. Number 3 Kansas beat Oklahoma State, 90-66. Dickinson for Kansas, 21.7 rebounds. Number 6 Tennessee beat 11-6 Florida, 85-66. Nick Necht, I think that's how you say his name, for Volunteers, 39 points, 8 rebounds. 4 for 6 from three-point land, 9 from 9 from the free throw line. Hell of a game for him. In overtime, 13-4 Kansas State beat number 9 Baylor, 68-64. Not a good week for Baylor. They lost a heartbreaker yesterday to Texas and Austin. Kansas State's Carter and Perry, 18 points each in that one. Number 11, Wisconsin lost to Penn State, 87-83. Penn State's Clary, 27 points. Penn State needed that win. They also needed a win yesterday against Ohio State. They didn't get it, but at least they beat Wisconsin the other day. 15-3, New Mexico beat number 16, Utah State, 99-86. Junior Joseph for New Mexico, 26 points, 8 rebounds. 5 other Lobos had double-digit points in that one. Overtime, 13-4 Cincinnati beat number 19 TCU 81-77. Thomas for Cincinnati, 21 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, followed by Newman III. He had 20 points, 7 rebounds. Number 20 BYU beat number 24 Iowa State 87-72. Johnson for BYU, 28 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 for 9 from three-point land. Hell of a game for that guy. Number 21 Dayton beat St. Louis 70-65. 16-2 Samford. They beat 15-3 Western Carolina. Not a good week for Western Carolina. They lost yesterday too. Acor for Samford, career high 35 points in that game. 9-8 Xavier beat 11-7 Butler 85-71. 12-5 Syracuse beat Pitt 69-58. 13-4 NC State beat Wake Forest 83-76. 15-3 Indiana State beat Missouri State 88-66. 12-5 Alabama beat Missouri 93-75. That's actually a 2-point game at halftime. 12-5 Richmond beat Duquesne 63-61. 13-4 Bowling Green beat Miami of Ohio 78-73. 13-4 Akron beat Western Michigan 77-66. 11-6 Toledo beat Buffalo 77-66. 12-5 SMU beat Temple 77-64. SMU scored 17 points off turnovers in that one. Temple committed 18 fouls. So they had everything. Temple had everything going against them in that game. 13-5 Seton Hall beat 12-6 St. John's 80-65. 9-8 Georgia Tech beat 12-5 Clemson 93-90 in 2 overtimes. 13-4 Georgia beat 14-3 South Carolina 74-69. 10-7 Arkansas beat 10-7 Texas A&M by 1 point. 14-3 Colorado State beat Air Force 78-69 in overtime. Falcons actually led that game by 3 at halftime. 9-7 UNLV beat 12-5 Boise State 68-64. UNLV scored 15 points off turnovers in that game. Moving to Wednesday, number 1 UConn beat number 8 Creighton 62-48. Number 4 North Carolina beat Louisville 86-70. Tar Heels in control the whole time. They led by 18 at halftime. Number 5 Houston beat number 25 Texas Tech 77-54. Cougars back to winning after those 2 losses last week. Number 8 Kentucky beat 12-5 Mississippi State 90-77. Kentucky's Reeves had 27 points in that game. Number 12 Arizona beat USC 82-67. Boy, everybody seems to be beating USC. Even then, Bronny on that team, little LeBron, isn't he on that team? Number 13 Auburn, who's on a roll, beat Vandy 80-65. Williams for Auburn, 21 points, 8 rebounds. Number 15 Oklahoma beat West Virginia 77-63. That was actually a 4-point game at halftime. 11-6 LSU beat number 22 Ole Miss. Not a good week for Ole Miss either. This we'll see here in a couple minutes. LSU's right, 27 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 7 steals. LSU really needed that win. Appalachian State moved to 14-4. They beat Georgia State 76-68. Spillers for App State, 23 points, 13 rebounds. Nice game for him. Battle of the Commonwealth. Virginia beat Virginia Tech 65-57. 11-6 Florida State beat 12-5 Miami 84-75. Not a good week for Miami either. 11-5 North Texas beat East Carolina by 1 point. 6-11 South Carolina Upstate beat 13-7 Longwood by 2 points. Longwood actually led by 10 at halftime. 15-4 High Point beat Presbyterian by 3. 10-7 Rutgers beat 13-5 Nebraska 87-82 in overtime. 11-6 Davidson beat Fordham by 10. 12-6 Loyola Chicago beat UMass, who was 11-6 that day, by 1. 11-5 St. Bonaventure beat Rhode Island 99-64. St. Bonaventure led by 26 at halftime. They just kept it going. 13-5 UNC Greensboro beat Citadel 73-67. 12-8 Oakland beat 13-6 Youngstown State 70-67. 6-14 IUPUI beat 13-6 Purdue Fort Wayne 85-79. IUPUI had 5 players double-digit points in that game. 11-5 Central Florida beats 12-5 Texas 77-71. Central Florida Sellers 24 points, 5 rebounds, followed by Allen 17 points, 7 assists. UCF shot 51% from the field. They have more rebounds than Texas, and they scored 19 points off of turnovers. Texas Horton, he led the way for them, 20 points. Abmas and Mitchell, 15 points each. Longhorns only shot 50% from the field. 11-6 UAB beat 11-6 Tulane, 83-69. Vasquez for UAB, 28 points, 6 rebounds. They out-rebounded Tulane 49-29 in that game. 13-5 Bradley beat 12-6 Southern Illinois, 70-69. Southern Illinois actually led that game by 21, and they just kind of gave it up. 15-3 Drake beat Illinois State, 77-56. 13-4 Northwestern beat Maryland, 72-69. Northwestern's Bowie, 20 points, including the go-ahead shot in the last minute. 12-6 Providence beat DePaul, 162. 15-3 San Diego State beat 15-3 Nevada, 71-59. Lee D for the Aztecs, 22 points, 12 rebounds. Coleman for Nevada, 16 points, 4 rebounds. San Diego State shot 42% from the field. Nevada shot 45%. But San Diego State out-rebounded them 44-25. Only committed 17 fouls, where Nevada committed 25 in that game. Thursday, 10-5 South Florida beat number 10 Memphis. Hey, 74-73. Miguel for South Florida, 23 points. He was 5 for 10 off the three-point land, and he came off the bench to do that. Number 14, Illinois beat Michigan, 88-73. Hawkins for Illinois, 21 points, 10 rebounds. That game was 1 point at the half. Illinois just started running away with it. Number 23, Florida Atlantic beat Wichita State, 86-77. Wichita State led by 11 at half, kept it going. 14-5 Vermont beat Binghamton by 20 points. 11-7 Michigan State beat 12-6 Minnesota, 76-66. Walker from Michigan State, 21 total points in that game. He scored 12 of those in the last 4 minutes. That guy was on fire. 12-8 UNC Asheville beat 13-7 Winthrop, 82-77. Winthrop actually led this game by 7 at half. 10-8 Towson beat 13-5 Charleston, 82-78. Delaware, 11-7. They beat Stony Brook 71-68. Stony Brook, 10-point lead at the half. That's kind of the theme this whole last week. The loser led by a lot of points at halftime and gave them all up. I guess that was a theme for this week. Kind of crazy. 12-5 UNC Wilmington beat Elion 82-70. Wilmington's White, 31 points in that one. 13-6 Drexel beat Monmouth, 78-74. Drexel's Williams, 21 points, 11 rebounds. 12-8 Green Bay beat Wright State, 88-81. 13-4 UMass Lowell beat Albany, 97-76. The game was actually 1 point game at halftime. 10-9 North Florida beat 12-6 Kinnison State, 84-75. 12-7 Liberty beat FIU, 78-69. 14-5 Morehead State beat UT Martin, 84-66. 12-6 Stephen F. Austin beat Seattle, 89-84 in overtime. 10-8 South Alabama beat 11-7 Troy, 74-71. 16-2 James Madison beat UL Monroe, 89-20. Wooden for James Madison, 31 points in that game. 9-10 South Dakota beat 13-7 St. Thomas, Minnesota, 74-73 in overtime. 12-7 Denver beat North Dakota State, 78-70. 7-13 Central Arkansas beat 11-8 Lipscomb, 96-86. Anderson for Central Arkansas, he had 26 points in that one. 11-6 Tarleton State beat Abilene Christian, 79-71. 8-10 Northern Arizona beat 11-7 Portland State, 84-65. Northern Arizona, 4 of their 5 starters scored double-digit points. 13-5, Utah State beat Oregon State 74-47. Only 47 points for Oregon State in that one. 11-7, Washington beat Cal 77-75. 17-1, Grand Canyon beat Utah Valley 78-65. 8-10, New Mexico State beat 13-5 Western Kentucky by 2 points, 72-70. The Aggies needed that win. 10-7, Eastern Washington beat 11-7 Weber State by 2. 13-7, Santa Clara beat Pacific 88-69. 12-5, Gonzaga beat Pepperdine 88-61. That game was tied at 40 at halftime. 11-6, UC Santa Barbara beat 13-5 Cal State Northridge 97-69. UC Santa Barbara 52% from three-point land. 12-7, Long Beach State beat Hawaii 79-71. 13-5, UC Irvine 11-7 beat UC San Diego 76-65. 13-5, Colorado beat 13-4 Oregon 86-70. 13-5, Washington State beat Stanford 89-75. And 15-4, San Francisco beat Loyola Marymount 90-74. Williams for San Francisco, 24 points, and he hit 4 3-pointers on that one. Going to Friday, number 11, Wisconsin. They beat 12-7 Indiana, 91-79. Wisconsin's Klesmit, 26 points, 5 3-pointers. Team shot 60% from the field. 13-4, Quinnipiac beat Siena, 82-70. 14-4, Akron beat Kent State, 77-71. Freeman and Ollie for Akron each had 23 points. 15-3, Colorado State beat UNLV, 78-75. Colorado State's Clifford, 21 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Stevens behind him, 18.6 rebounds. Colorado State, 18 points they scored off of turnovers. Going to yesterday, we had some pretty good games. Number 1, UConn beat Villanova by 1 point. UConn's Newton, 25 points, 6 rebounds. Both teams under 9 turnovers. That's pretty incredible. Number 2, Purdue beat Iowa 84-70. Edey, again, 30 points, 18 rebounds. Third straight game that Zach Edey has had 30 plus points and 10 plus rebounds. And I think I heard that's his 11th double-double this year. That guy's just incredible. 7-11, West Virginia beat number 3 Kansas 91-85. Battle for West Virginia, 23 points, 9 rebounds. See if I can say his name without butchering it. Sumnick. We're just going to leave it there. Sumnick. 20 points, 6 rebounds. West Virginia last week, they were 2-1 against ranked teams. Beat Kansas, beat Texas, lost to OU. Just crazy everything that's gone down at that school. Bob Huggins getting fired and all that stuff. They're only 7-11, but still, they've got some wins there to be proud of. They really do. Number 4, North Carolina beat Boston College 76-66. Boston College only shot 36% from the field. Number 5, Houston beat Central Florida 57-42. Only one Central Florida player had double-digit points. That was Avery, who came off the bench, 10 points. USC, Central Florida, they win a big game, lose the next one, beat Kansas, lost to BYU, beat Texas, lost to Houston. They just got to get more consistent if they want to make a run. Number 6, Tennessee beat Alabama 91-77. Alabama, 22 turnovers in that one. Tennessee scored 23 points off those turnovers. Tennessee, they've won 10 out of the last 11 games. They're a pretty damn good team. 11-7, Pitt. They beat number 7 Duke 80-76. Pitt's Henson, 24 points, 8 rebounds. 7 for 7 from three-point land. Nice game for him. This game, every time Duke got close, Henson, we just talked about, he would step up with his shooting and stop him. It was crazy. Duke actually goes up 1, and then Henson hits a 3 to bring Duke back down to level. It was a crazy game. It really was. I enjoyed it. Number 8, Kentucky beat Georgia 105-96. Kentucky's Mitchell, 23 points, 5 rebounds. But hey, Georgia, man, Abdus Ram, 34 points in that game. Nice game for him. Lost by 9, but hell of a game for him. 13-5, Texas beat number 9 Baylor by 2. Baylor's Bridges, he hits a 3 with 5 seconds left to tie the game. Texas Hunter drives it down court, lays it up at the buzzer. They win. Close game, though. That was a really close game. The largest lead in that game was 8. Good game. I had that one on the iPad and the other one on TV. Yeah, I was watching 2 at the same time. Number 12, Arizona beat UCLA 77-71. UCLA actually led by 9 at halftime. Arizona outscored them 49-34 in the second half. This one here, number 13, Auburn beat Ole Miss. Number 22, Ole Miss, 82-59. I've got to say, when I looked, it was either Friday night. I think it's Friday night. I always look at the schedule on Saturday and see, of course, who's playing through the day, but who the primetime games, you know. I was really, really looking forward to this game. I said, man, Auburn and Ole Miss are both good. This could be a good game. About midway through the first, that didn't appear. And then you get to halftime. You're like, really? Is Ole Miss going to make some kind of adjustments and make a game out of this? No, didn't happen. I was highly disappointed in it. Auburn led by 19 at halftime. Went up by 35 at one point. Totally crazy. Auburn, 22 points off of turnovers. They shot 58% from the field. Ole Miss only shot 37% from the field. Auburn, 11th straight win. They are 5-0 in the SEC. Like I said, I was looking forward to this game, and about halftime I was like, man, what else is on? Which really wasn't much on, unfortunately. One of those Saturdays. Number 15, Oklahoma beat Cincinnati 69-65. Both teams under 41% from the field. That's kind of crazy. 31-31 at the half, too. Number 16, Utah State beat Fresno State by 21. Utah State's Osobor, 20 points, 12 rebounds. Utah State shot 55% from the field. Number 17, Marquette beat St. John's by 1 point. St. John's actually led by 6 at halftime. 3 overtimes. Number 18, Creighton beat Seton Hall 97-94. Creighton's Kalkbrenner, 28 points, 9 rebounds, 7 blocks, too. Nice game for him. Number 24, Iowa State beat number 19, TCU by 1 point. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the reason TCU lost yesterday to Iowa State was probably because of their 27 turnovers, which Iowa State scored 36 off of that. Just going out on a limb. Just a little hunch I have. Number 25, Texas Tech beat number 20, BYU, 85-78. BYU led by 16 at the half. There we go, back to that trend. Crazy. Isaacs, the guy which I think is in trouble, or going to be in trouble for all that crap that happened in the Bahamas, still on the team. He led the way, 32 points, 5 rebounds, 6 for 9 from three-point land. Maybe that's why they're not doing anything yet, because of that performance like that. Who knows? Dayton 15-2. They beat Rhode Island by 34. Wow. Dayton 56% from the field, 59% from three-point land. Wow. Syracuse, they're 13-5. They beat Miami by 3. Syracuse, Starling, 22 points. He also hit 6 3-pointers in that one. But now, Copeland comes off the bench. Scored 11 points, including the game winner at the buzzer. So Copeland said, I'm coming off the bench to show you what I could do, and he did it. 11-7, Virginia Tech beat 13-5, North Carolina State, 84-78. 13-5, Wake Forest beat Louisville by 25. 13-5, Ohio State beat Penn State, 79-67. 12-6, UMass beat 14-4, George Washington, 81-67. That game was tied at 31 at halftime. 8-12, Gardner Webb beat 13-8, Winthrop by 5. 13-5, Boise State beat 15-4, San Diego State by 1. San Diego State actually shot a lot better from the field than Boise State, and they still lost. 15-3, South Carolina beat Arkansas, 77-64. Mark for Arkansas, Led the way, 18 points. He was the only Razorback with double-digit points in that one. 13-6 Loyola Chicago beat Fordham by 4. 11-7 New Hampshire beat UMBC by 6. 11-10 North Dakota beat 12-8 Denver 92-78. 14-5 Bradley beat 11-8 Belmont 95-72. 12-8 Radford beat South Carolina upstate by 3. Radford Smith hit the game-winning 3 at the buzzer. 14-6 Drexel beat 11-8 Delaware 86-67. Tied at 34 at halftime in that one. 11-8 Colgate beat Boston Terriers 75-59. Boston was up by 5 at halftime, let it get away. 14-5 George Mason beat 11-16 St. Bonaventure by 9. 14-4 Bowling Green beat Western Michigan 84-79. Bowling Green's Hill 28 points in that game. 10-9 Furman beat 15-4 Western Carolina by 3. Not a good week for Western Carolina. Furman led by 10 at the half. They just kept pouring it on. 12-8 Cleveland beat Purdue Fort Wayne by 7. 12-6 Yale beat Dartmouth 76-51. 15-1 Princeton beat Columbia 70-62. 14-4 UMass Lowell beat Binghamton by 20. 11-9 South Dakota State beat South Dakota 73-55. Proving to South Dakota that not only are the Jackrabbits the Coyotes' daddy in football, but evidently in basketball too. 13-3 Cornell beat Brown by 1. 11-7 Arizona State beat USC 82-67. 14-5 Nebraska beat 13-5 Northwestern 75-69. Bowie for Northwestern, only 9 points in that game. 12-6 St. Joseph beat Duquesne by 2. 12-6 UAB beat East Carolina by 8. Pirates led that game by 3 at halftime. 13-5 SMU beat Tulsa 103-70. Mustangs 12 3-pointers in that game. They hit 12 of them. 14-7 Longwood beat Presbyterian by 10. 13-6 Kennesaw State beat Jacksonville 83-79. Actually, the Jacksonville led at the half. 13-5 Mississippi State beat Vanderbilt 68-55. 11-8 Southern Miss beat 11-8 Troy by 1. 13-5 Clemson beat 11-7 Florida State by 11. Florida State only 40% from the field, where Clemson shot 51%. 11-7 Charlotte beat 11-6 North Texas 56-44. 12-7 Butler beat DePaul by 14. Texas A&M moved to 11-7, getting revenge on 11-7 LSU, winning by 4. LSU came to College Station a couple weeks ago, beat Texas A&M. Texas A&M went to Baton Rouge last night, beat LSU, traded them off. 13-5 Richmond beat Davidson by 5 in overtime. 16-3 New Mexico beat Air Force 85-66. Toppin for New Mexico, 25 points, 13 rebounds. Air Force had 18 turnovers in that game. 14-5 UNC Greensboro beat Wofford 82-66. Brown for UNC Greensboro, 29 points in that one. 14-6 Youngstown State beat Detroit Mercy 105-64. Detroit Mercy, oh man, Mercy, you guys, 0-20 this year. Not a good season for them. 11-9 Tennessee State beat 12-7 Western Illinois by 1 point. 15-5 Morehead State beat Southern Indiana 81-70. Minix for Morehead State, 26 points in that game. 15-4 Appalachian State beat Coastal Carolina 88-59. 7-12 Cal beat 13-6 Washington State 81-75 in overtime. 13-6 Louisiana Tech beat Jacksonville State 74-57. Crawford for Louisiana Tech, 30 points in that game. Nice game for him. 12-7 UC Davis beat 13-6 UC Irvine by 2 points. UC Davis's Johnson, the go-ahead three-pointer with 7 seconds left in that game. 13-5 Virginia beat Georgia Tech 75-66. 16-3 Drake beat Evansville 97-48. Drake led by 34 at the half, kept it going. 13-5 UNC Wilmington beat 13-6 Charleston 78-69. 17-2 Samford beat Mercer 87-80. Samford, Stanton, McCray, and Aker. Each of those guys had 20 points. Nice game for the Samford. 7-2 James Madison beat Marshall 67-52. 16-2 McNeese beat Incarnate Word 80-66. McNeese, hell of a basketball team they got this year. 14-5 Colorado beat Oregon State 90-57. 14-4 Kansas State beat Oklahoma State 70-66. Cowboys led by 4 at halftime. 16-4 High Point beat Charleston Southern 86-79. High Point's Giffa 29 points, not bad. 14-7 Santa Clara beat Portland 101-86. Tilly for Santa Clara 22 points. 13-7 Liberty beat Sam Houston 82-66. 12-7 UC San Diego beat Hawaii by 6. 10-8 Wyoming. Wyoming barely over 500 beat 15-4 Nevada by 5 points. Griffin for Wyoming 26 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. Cott had 20 points. Wenzel behind them came up with 19 points. 12-6 Tarleton State beat UT Rio Grande Valley by 4. UT Rio Grande Valley led by 14 at halftime, blew that one. 11-8 Northern Iowa beat 12-7 Southern Illinois, 61-57. Florida, they're 12-6 now. They beat Missouri 79-67. 8-12 UC Riverside beat 13-6 Cal State Northridge 82-63. Moses for UC Riverside, 30 points in that game. 10-8 Stanford beats 11-8 Washington by 10 after losing to Washington State earlier in the week. And I don't know if they call this one the Battle of the Great Wild or whatever they call the football game. But Montana is 12-6. They beat Montana State by 10 points. That is it. A couple games on today, and one or two wrapping up right now. I believe one of them was Michigan State, if I remember right. I think. I don't know. I know Illinois and Maryland played today. Anyway, hey, enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy football, basketball, whatever you're doing. Stay warm this week until all this thing crap blows out of here. We'll be back next week to go over things that have happened. Anyway, stay safe. We'll see you next time.